Welcome back to our show. We are back again for another fabulous episode. America, this is Table Talk.
Woo!
Yes, we're back. Your besties are back. Well, I'm Tracy Malone, and I'm here with my fabulous co-hosts. You know, Danielle isn't here today, but we have the goddess of style here filling in on her behalf. This is Miss Danielle Williams.
Hello.
She is going to give us all the latest on fashion and what you need to have in your closet.
Yes.
You know, we're your besties. We're going to talk about everything that's happening in the streets, in the sheets, everything that's happening under the sun. We are bringing it all to the table. This is Table Talk.
We definitely don't have it all together, but we're doing our best to live our very best life.
Yes.
I hope you're ready for a great show today. There's so much to talk about. Like Tracy had mentioned, we have two special guests today. Danielle, who was also the fill-in co-host, and Dr. Mobley, who's going to talk to us about sex trafficking.
A very, very serious topic.
Yes, very serious. Something so real that every woman needs to know and think about. It'll shape your life and how you view the world around you.
That's right. Okay, Carolyn, so this week I learned that you wanted to be a doctor when you were a little girl.
Wait, you want to be a doctor?
No. See, listen, I learned that I wanted to be a doctor until I had to do the math required to be a doctor. And I was like, no, I'm okay. I didn't get past trigonometry, and I was like, bump that.
But now you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
And you are just doing your thing day in and day out in the legal world.
Trying to.
We're proud of you.
Thank you so
are.
much.
Yes. And Sade, she's our fashionista. So she is going to give you everything that you need to know, along with Danielle today, about the necessities that you need to have in your closet. I can't wait, honestly, for that segment.
Me too.
And then there's me, Tracy Malone, serial entrepreneur. This week I am so focused on not wasting time.
Amen.
We'll discuss that a little bit later in the show. And as you know, Danielle is on travel, but we still have a fantastic show planned for you. Yes, we do.
And there you have it. Let's get started and jump right in.
Yes. Let's get to hot topics.
Hot topics.
Let's go for
The
it.
only topic that is in social media right now that everybody is talking about.
What is it?
R. Kelly.
The notorious.
The notorious
You know what?
infamous.
R. Kelly.
You know what? I looked at Rob put the documentary on the TV, and I thought I was just going to watch, you know, about his life, how he grew up, how he got into the music industry,
No.
not knowing that it was going to be.
Surviving R. Kelly.
I mean,
Is that what it's
What
called?
is it
Surviving?
called?
Yes.
Surviving.
and
I haven't been. I don't want to watch that.
Carolyn, you
That's
have
not
to
something
watch
I want to do in my spare time. Is watch about how this man is so deboisterous and tearing
You have to watch
tearing up people's lives.
Surviving R.
I
Kelly.
can't even believe what I was saying. Okay, Sade, you know, I haven't even gotten past episode 2. Tell us
honey.
what's happening
Okay.
with these survivors.
There's a lot of survivors, and they're surviving in different ways. You have his wife or his ex-wife, who's
What?
a survivor. Yeah, she's a survivor. The mother of his 3 children. She's a
He's got
survivor.
3 kids.
3 kids, yes.
Wow. I didn't
is
get to that
cringy.
episode.
Yes,
That
He
must
has
be
3 children. So
episode
she,
3 or something.
She left the marriage. There's a lot of people who are not even survivors yet. They're still in his hold. Like
Wait, he's got like a
still-
compound or something?
He had a compound. Yes, he had a compound in Georgia.
What?
That he had, like, this one woman, I forgot which one she
Maybe
was.
like-
She was older, though. She was, like, 33. How you get caught up in that when you're 33, I don't really know.
That's
I don't
that's a
really
little odd.
know. But she
Wow.
was talking about how they each had bedrooms. Like, bedrooms. Like, all the girls had bedrooms.
They
You
sound like
could-
concubines.
Let me tell you, you could not eat, use the bathroom, or do anything without telling him and getting permission from him.
So where did all of this stem from?
His childhood.
What happened in his childhood?
He was molested by his older sister, right?
He was molested by his older sister, and they also say he was molested by a man. They just didn't say who the man was. And his three brothers. One brother's in jail. He was interviewing from jail.
Wow.
And then there's another younger brother. I think R. Kelly and the younger brother were both molested by someone who now we know is his sister.
Oh my goodness.
It's really sick how people repeat the patterns of trauma and the patterns of abuse. I'm not even gonna say sick. It's very sad because
It is.
maybe something happened to the brothers and this, or the male and the sister that caused them to perpetuate this sick cycle.
But here's the thing. He can stop the cycle. He could have. He could have, went
But
out
it's
and
hard. It's hard.
and
Any
found
cycle
the
you try to
help.
break,
But here's the thing: is
It's
you
hard.
don't stop a behavior until you realize that behavior is wrong.
maybe he hasn't.
And maybe he's not had. Maybe he just feels like, oh, I like girls that look young. And I'm not saying that to defend him, but at the same time, when your mindset is so twisted, you have no other choice but to just think how you think.
And to be honest with you, I feel like too, he's never had to pay for them. He goes to trial, he gets off. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like
The allegations
he's
disappear.
doing, exactly. He's doing these crimes, and then he's in jail. And he has time to think. He feels like he's untouchable, you know. So he hasn't faced the reality yet.
Yeah, but that's what money does to people.
It does.
I think a day will come where this is all going to, I mean, it's catching up with him. Obviously, the show is on and everything is out on the table, literally. The only question that I have is this still going on today?
Right.
Is this something that happened in the past,
No.
or he's still, you know?
No, he still has girls.
You think so?
There's
Danielle, what do
two-
you think?
I think it's ridiculous. I think that the first red flag went off during the Aaliyah situation.
Yeah.
Everybody just rushed it off.
You just brush it off. Yeah.
I feel like I was a teenager when that was happening, but I wasn't really like. Can you explain a little bit about that situation? Because I haven't actually been watching it. I've been picking up things from like Instagram and Facebook. Like, what was? Did they have a relationship?
Yeah, so they actually got married.
What?
Yeah. She was 15.
15.
Who signed that? Okay, first of all, you cannot consent to a marriage if you're underage.
No,
it depends on the state.
They lied.
Depends on the
They
state.
lied on the
18.
certificate.
I think the manager.
Oh, so that's avoidable marriage. So sorry, that's my law
Yeah, they
school
got
tip of the
it
day. It's
annoyed.
avoidable marriage. You, it's you know you
They got it
cannot consent if you are under the age of consent. So asterisks anyway.
Honestly, I'm really glad that we're talking about this R. Kelly situation because it's really, you know, it goes into the sex trafficking segment that we're going to be doing later. But I just have a question for like all of you guys.
Okay.
Are you still going to listen to R. Kelly?
I am.
I mean, he
I
has.
love his music. I'm with you. I'm sorry.
I remember listening to his music when I was in high school. I mean, he's a really great artist. I mean, he's a musical
you can't take away from
genius.
That. Exactly.
But I
see-
have no desire to listen to him.
No, because that's the thing. He's not going to be punished because the more we listen to him on Apple Music, on Spotify, the more money he's going to get. So you're still enabling bad behavior. You can't just say, oh, he's, you know, he did a bad thing or he's this or he's that. Somewhere along the way, people have to pay for the things that they do to other people.
Oh, but honey, there's a whole movement called Mute R. Kelly, and there's a lot of radio stations that don't play him anymore. Like,
Really?
they're trying to take him off of the radio.
Wow.
That was in the
That's
thing,
what they
too.
need to do
There's
because
Mute R. Kelly.
you can't be listening to everything. There's
Yeah.
not everything that you need to even
Okay,
let
well, are
into
you
your
still going to
spirit.
be listening to Aaliyah? Age ain't nothing but a number.
Okay, but Aaliyah,
This
we
song
like to
was
rock the
about-
boat.
She's a survivor. She would be on that show too as a survivor.
We
I
like
bet.
to rock the boat.
I'm not taking it away. Aaliyah was, she's a survivor. She is, but age ain't nothing but a number. We like that song.
Yeah, but there's
We can't be
grooming.
biased.
But she was underage, so there's this thing called grooming where these pedophiles, what they'll do is they'll talk to the girl, or they'll be there for her, or they make her feel like she's older than what she is and mature, and you know they really pander to that side of your rebellious teenage years that says I'm grown, I do what I want, but you're really not because you don't even have a license, you know. So like, I think that these men, they groom these young women because this is, I mean, I've seen cases like this. I saw a guy. He took a plea deal because he was grooming a 14-year-old girl, and he was in his 50s. It's sick. It's not excusable on any level of, you know, life.
At the end of
Oh
the day,
boy,
no matter
get your
what,
life together, R.
That's
Kelly.
it. That's what I was about to say. I don't
Listen.
care about the music or anything. He needs to get his life.
Speaking of
Together.
putting your life together, Tracy
Yes.
Number one. He's
Malone.
number
Yes.
Tracy Malone, what are we talking about putting our life together
Okay, so
in 2019?
R. Kelly, on behalf of Table Talk, we would like to ask you to just kindly put your life together, okay? All right? All right. So when we talk about putting your life together, all right, a life plan can help you achieve your goals and plan for the future. Whether it relates to putting your finances, your home, your will, retirement, life insurance, and all of that together. So it's so important for all of us to start thinking ahead. If you start thinking ahead, it's going to help you in the event when you're faced with a hardship, when you're faced with an obstacle. And we know life happens. You know, we've got to be ready. We have to start thinking 10 years in advance. Where do you see yourself? We have to put our life in order. So ladies, I want to ask you, and there's so many different things that we need to put right. So in this segment, let's talk about some of the things that our audience needs to know so that they, along with us, can start putting our lives together.
Well, I'll tell on myself, I will risk my job for 10 minutes of extra sleep in the morning. I will snooze.
You and me both.
I will snooze.
Every morning.
I will snooze. I will snooze. I will snooze. And I was just thinking about this on the way here today. I was like, your daily routines really are the output of your life. So if you take your daily routine and you make it into something that is going to be conducive for your growth. And I also was thinking too, like, I never want to be the reason why I am not successful. I want it to be about something that happened to me why I'm not reaching the goals that I want to reach, right? So I'm thinking to myself for 2019 for this new year, I want to start getting up earlier. I hate getting up earlier. It's the winter, it's cold, it sucks, but I want to start getting up at 6 a.m., the time I should be getting up, and working out and doing something that's going to get me stimulated, my mind going, like my blood flowing through my body. Because I think like for instance, this morning I woke up before I got here. I went to church. I ran an errand. I did a favor for somebody. I got all of these things done in a matter of morning hours, and I was like, why am I wasting all of this time in the morning? Like, I can't be my own excuse and my own crutch. So I think for 2019, I'm definitely going to be getting up early in the morning and really trying to make the best use of my time. Because I think I love sleeping in, but I don't want to waste so much time. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you this. Millionaires wake up at 4 a.m.
I go to bed sometimes at 4 a.m. So
They wake up at 4 a.m. and surprisingly, a lot of people go to bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: you can't control time, but you can control what you do with your time.
That's a word.
And you are a product of whatever you want to become in life is determined by how you use your time.
Yeah.
That's good, Carolyn, on getting your life together now. But what about the future? What are some things that we can do in the future to ensure that our lives are together in the lives of our families and, children, spouses, things like that?
Well, I don't know. For me, it's paying down. I have a lot of student loan debt from law school, and I'm not worried about that debt. That debt can go somewhere. But consumer debt, there's a difference between consumer debt and student loan debt. So what's really crazy is I got pre-qualified to buy a house last year, which I was so grateful that I could. But the interesting part about it is it's easier to buy. It's almost easier to buy a home than it is to get a credit card.
It is.
To be quite honest with you, when you have a lot of consumer debt, the credit agencies see that, and they may not want to extend to you more debt, but somehow you will be qualified based on your income and your debt to income ratio for a home. So my goal too is just to start paying down these credit cards that I have from law school. I have a couple of credit cards, and they're easy to rack up because you're like, I don't have cash, and when you're strapped for cash for 3 years in school, you need to just how do you I need gas money? Okay, hello,
Yeah.
Capital One.
Definitely, credit card companies target, I think, college students.
Oh, my first one was at 18. Capital One was like, here you go, and I was like,
Yes, you thought it was the best thing that ever happened.
I was like, I'm a grown up,
Yeah.
Mom. Let's go to get
I'm
food.
not gonna lie, one of my things that long term I really want to do is life insurance.
Yes.
My oldest daughter passed away when she was 5. She didn't have a life insurance policy in place, and in the course of like 2 weeks, we were supposed to come up with like $13,000 to plan her funeral.
Wow.
Life insurance, even for your children, it's important to have.
You have to put your life in order, and that's one thing. My uncle just passed last week, and unfortunately, he did not have a life insurance policy.
Wow.
And it made me start thinking, I've got a policy, my husband, we're good, the children, we're good. But I asked my mom, I said, Mom, do you have a life insurance policy? And she said, no. So Monday morning, we are getting a life insurance policy.
Good.
And it's something that we overlook,
Wow.
What about wills? What's your thought on wills, having wills in place?
So maybe I can help with this question.
I know.
Okay.
No.
Wait. Okay.
So
Go for
here's
it.
the thing. A will is a written legal document that essentially states what you want to happen to your stuff, your accounts, your home, your property. And a lot of people say, I don't have property, I don't have whatever the case may be, but you will die with some bills. Okay, can I get an amen to that? Some of us we're going to die with some bills, and we need to figure out how they're going to get paid off and what's going to happen with them. So essentially, if you pass away without a will, everything that you have, everything goes to the state. It's called you die intestate if you don't have any children or heirs to take over it. And so it's extremely important that when you do pass away that you have some legal document. It doesn't even necessarily have to be drafted by a lawyer. You can go Google LegalZoom. LegalZoom isn't paying me for this, obviously, but there's these pre-made documents that you can get. want so-and-so to have this much, so-and-so to have this much, I want this, I want that. And it makes things so much easier because when it comes to the transition, nobody wants to talk about the end of life, you know, the transition from this world to the next. And so when you're doing this, you have to look at it and be realistic, but it doesn't have to be morbid. You can look at it and say, how am I going to help my family in this, rather than leaving them in a pinch and they got all these bills to pay and everybody's fighting over your jewelry collection or your pots and pans. Like, who cares? Like, why are we going to fight over stuff that nobody cares about anymore? It's just stuff, and you can't take it with you. And so essentially, it's going to give people the direction of how you want things to go when you go. And you can make it either easier on them or very extremely hard on them. I had a friend, she's very young, her father just passed away, but this man was a former Marine. So we all know that military mentality is extremely cut and dry, black and white. It's done or it's not done. What are you doing with your time? You know, that type of thing. Adapt. What does the Marines say? Adapt and overcome. So that's one of their mottos, right? And so he left it so kind of clear cut and cookie cut for her, so that even though she is young and the executor of his estate, it becomes so much easier. And there's a difference between a power of attorney and the executor. The power of attorney is what you have when you're alive. So essentially, the power of attorney is, say your family member is sick, they sign over and you sign a document as well that says that you can help make medical decisions. Once they pass, then you can be the same person or a different person can be assigned the executor of that estate, meaning that you're the one that is going to determine the outcome of all of their assets. So I'm done with my TED talk. Just kidding.
So being the executor, what if they didn't appoint an executor?
Then it can be. I'm not sure how that goes, actually. I'm a little rusty here. I think that it may be maybe like go to the state, whoever is handling the estate, like the attorney maybe, or somebody, maybe the children, hopefully there's a spouse, maybe there's a spouse or a child or somebody there who can maybe take over that responsibility, like, because it's a big one. Pretty much. Exactly. And
so, do you have a will?
I don't. I have a template sitting in my inbox.
you should do it. That's good.
Fill it out and get it notarized and all of that.
Do you have life insurance?
I do. Me and my son both have life insurance. Very important.
Amen.
I need to get both.
I don't have life insurance. I need to. I feel bad about this. I think I have like accidental death. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get dismembered at sitting at my computer, but I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are some things that you have to start thinking about. This is your life. You have to start putting it together.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you said something about you don't take this stuff with you. You don't. So for me, it's so important that we all have a job to do. Like, we're all here for a purpose. So because you can't take all of your belongings with you, it is so important that you begin to know your purpose so that you fulfill that assignment. Period. Okay.
Selah. Pause and think on that.
Next topic. Sade.
So outside of getting, all of those serious things in order, in 2019, we need to get like our looks in order.
Our faces, our skincare in order.
Get your teeth in order.
Our body in order.
My teeth.
Everything needs to be in order.
Come on, snatched in order.
Get your kids in order.
Oh, that's a word. That's a word.
Stimulate your mind.
Get your mind in order.
Get your mindset in order.
Yeah.
Can we get our fashion in order?
Yes, Danielle. Fashion in order. From bottom to top,
Left to right.
up and down,
All around.
Yes.
Have you seen some of the people who are just 75% of the way there?
Me?
Like, it's like
Just
they
kidding.
did it until they got to the shoes or the accessories.
That's why you call the goddess of style.
Goddess of
Hello.
Style
Hello, I need your help.
Is here
Ring,
and
ring.
You look
live.
100% in order. So Danielle, tell us about what is the goddess of style? What do you do?
Okay, I am the goddess of style. I provide personal shopping, closet organization,
I
and
need
travel
that.
packing services.
Nice.
So I'm currently servicing the DMV area, but I'm also available for travel and virtual services as well.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
I need to get my closet in order.
Literally, me too.
I think we all need to get our closet in order. And with that, let's talk about 4 things that every woman, no matter how old you are, whether you're 50, 20, 70, there's 4 things that every woman needs to have in their closet.
Okay.
Number 1.
Are we supposed to guess? Okay, tell us.
I'm just gonna tell y'all.
Okay.
Number one.
Tell me.
Number one. Tracy wants to know. She wants to be like, look. Do
I
like
want
that
to. No,
in
I
my
want to make sure I
closet?
have it to my. Am I fashionable?
Okay, so we'll do a check if we've got it.
All right. Let's
Okay.
go. Tell us.
A little black dress.
Check.
We know she got everything.
Right. All right, goddess.
Okay.
The goddess.
A nice fitted pair of denim.
Check.
All my denim fits.
Not too big, not too tight, like perfect.
Just right.
Something that you can wear to work, you
Just
can wear it
right.
on a date, like you can dress it up and dress it down. So we have
Check.
the black dress, the denim.
Check.
What about a nice black blazer?
Check.
We
Calvin
know.
Klein got me
We
straight.
know y'all got
H&M
it.
did me right a couple
Yeah.
of years ago.
Yeah.
And the last thing I would say is a nice crisp white shirt.
Say Chris one more time.
Crisp. Yes, girl. You gotta, accentuate it a little bit.
I do. And even
Mine may be a little dingy.
I'll
You
tell
need
you.
a
well,
new
then
one.
you're
I need a
75% of the way
I need a
there.
crisp one.
So
I
this
need
is
a
what
new one.
75% of the way there looks like. If you,
Dingy.
Wait, no.
You just. I'm a hot mess.
Carol's 100% today, baby.
Oh yeah, no.
She is
Today,
like the-
girl, you did it. But if a dingy shirt is going to be 75%
No, I
of the way
think it's
there.
like, you know what happens is sometimes you just can't make it to the dry cleaners and they don't bleach out like you wanted to.
Well, shawty, don't.
I know. I need to just donate it.
Pretty much.
And even with your white tees, you can make them a little fashionable. Put a zipper, buttons.
You do a whole
Spice it
lot.
up.
Zipper.
Outside of those essentials, who wants to know what the trends are right now?
Oh,
I do.
absolutely.
That's when we're gonna head over to Danielle. What are
Okay,
some
let us know.
popular trends?
Okay, so the first trend we're going to talk about is slime green.
Slime.
I just like
Okay.
the way that sounds.
Slime green. So on the left, we have fashion influencer Charlena. And can I say that I really like how it looks like she's transitioned her summer sandals right on into winter?
I know that sweater she is popping.
Yes. Do you guys have anything slime green?
No, but I need to get something. 'cause
Not
that
yet?
color is like.
Just the slime that Chloe plays with all day long.
Oh my God, kids love that
All over
stuff
the
now.
car.
Right.
I have like a pair of like sandals a long time ago from Target, but those are like not in commission anymore. Like
So we need some
we need to
updated
update
slime.
our
Okay.
slime green.
So if you guys want to incorporate some slime green into your wardrobe, we have this two-piece sweater set in the upper right-hand corner. It's pretty much a steal at $70.
Wow.
You get two pieces. I'm really feeling the fringe going on. And then if you want to splurge, we have these Nicholas Kirkwood translucent boots in the lower right-hand corner. These go for about $1,200.
Wow. What a wow. I don't know if I could do that slime green.
I think you could.
I think you could.
It would look
may
great on
just
your
be a
skin
little
tone.
bright.
Honestly, I feel like slime green would kind of look good on
Anybody,
skin
yeah.
tone, to be honest
Okay.
with you.
And you can do a pop of it. You don't like. I love these shoes that she has on with the clear heels with the shoes. You could do that with a lot of different things.
You could do a
yeah,
bag,
you
you could do
could.
a belt,
Start with your nails, Tracy.
earrings.
Do a little accent nail, go
so
crazy,
slime
go
green.
crazy.
So I'm gonna say
on your
I'm
accent.
gonna find a slime green something.
I've definitely had my
And
toes
it'll be
that
our
color.
little inside
Me too.
joke.
Yes, keep us posted.
All right.
So
What else
The
you got
next
for us?
trend, we're gonna look at snakeskin. I feel like every season, some type of animal print is always in. And this season, it's snakeskin. We have Instagrammer Simsima on the left. And I love how she's not afraid to mix prints, which is also a big trend right now, mixing different prints. It screams confidence, it's eclectic, and it just looks really good on her. If you guys want to go ahead and experiment with the snakeskin trend, you can purchase this snakeskin bag from Zara for only $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And then if you want to splurge a little bit, we have this dress at the bottom. It goes for $500, and that is also by Nicholas Kirkwood.
Okay, so so is it snake skin that's in or any type of animal skin? Because
Right now it's
snakes,
snakeskin.
I'm not really into snakes.
I'm not into snakes neither, but
I feel like a
some
Debbie
snakes.
Downer in this segment.
So I'm not feeling it. The bag is really cute. I would do the bag, but other than that,
This is something that you can see on somebody and be like, okay, wow, she looks amazing. I don't know if I could do snake.
I'm with it.
You definitely could.
I think
grab a
anybody
bag,
I'd try
can do
anything. Okay.
some shoes.
I know, Tracy, but what about like a slime green dress with the snake skin?
goodbye, good night.
Girl, put
If
all
I
of
find
them
one,
together.
yeah.
But you know, I am seeing a lot of slime green snakeskin dresses and
I am
shirts.
too.
Yeah.
I am
Oh,
too.
wow.
I am too.
Really? That's a thing?
I love a nice fur
The
around my neck.
colorful snakeskin.
Fur. That's you throwing your fur on.
Okay. I'm gonna try all of these things. I promise.
We
should.
all need to. The
But
lash.
I'll bind the snake. I'll stomp on the snake.
Because you don't do snakes.
Cut the
I
head
don't
off
do
the
snakes.
snake.
Cut the head.
But then, sanctify it.
Yes,
Oh,
sanctified.
sanctified snake. Okay.
And lay it at the altar.
Hey, hallelujah.
And then put it on.
Girl.
in the name of fashion.
What about the lash trend?
Okay, so the last trend we have cowboy boots. And blogger Camila Coho, I'm loving the way that she's wearing these. She's paired it with
Fantastic.
a skirt set. And it looks fabulous. You can wear these with jeans, leggings, skirts, dresses. Over here on the upper right-hand corner, we have the Fendi boots. These have been so popular this
I love
season. I love them. They come in different
Wow.
colors. They go for about $1,800. So if you want to invest in that, go right ahead. I'm sure that cowboy boots will be back around, in a couple more seasons. It's a good investment.
Now I could do a nice cowboy boot.
Ooh.
Really? Boot scooting
Absolutely.
boogie?
Absolutely.
Look
Absolutely.
like some cowboy boots with your little husband.
I could wear a cowboy
With a
boots
nice
and then I'm
dress.
wearing a
Oh,
nice hat
Honky tonk.
with my guitar.
Yes, I love it.
If you guys are looking for a look for less, we have the Zara cowboy boots, and those go for about $150.
Oh, I love it. So
very nice.
Can you tell us the difference between someone who's fashionable and someone who's trendy? Because sometimes I feel like those are not the same thing.
They're not the same. Someone who is fashionable, I feel like they have their style together. Like no matter what they put on, no matter what they wear, they're gonna look good. They can wear something that costs $1,000 or something that costs $10, and they're gonna rock it. Somebody who is trendy, they can still be stylish, but they're always jumping on the latest trends. It's not a whole lot of creativity going into it. It's more so whatever's trending, whatever's in the store, we're gonna grab it and put it on, and may or may not put their own spin on it.
So how do you encourage women? I mean, I'm sure you don't just have women clients, even your male clients. How do you encourage them to kind of think outside the box and develop their own sense of style?
Yes.
So I work with my clients so we can create mood boards.
Oh.
So they'll find things that inspire them, whether it be celebrities, certain colors, makeup, anything, and we can create the board, put it together, and we kind of can use that and reference that when we're going shopping for them.
Awesome. So are there certain colors that look better on skin types, hair, that complement hair that we need to know?
So I'm glad you asked. Actually, the 2019 Pantone Color of the Year is called Living Coral. And I love Living Coral because it goes well with all skin tones. Whether you're using it in makeup, like a nice lip, accessories, shoes, clothing, it just looks good on everyone.
Oh, excellent. I love coral.
I do too.
I have a
It's
good
gorgeous.
coral lippy. That's
Yes,
always
it's my go-to color in the summer, yes.
Is that coral that you're wearing?
I know
No,
what to say.
this is nude that I have on. This is an Anastasia one, but the one that I like, the coral one, is a it's called RK Cosmetics. You can get it at any local beauty supply store or online. It's like $3. It's the best.
Wow.
I can't remember the name of it. I wish, maybe we can link it if I can find it on Table Talk TV, but I love it. It's my go-to summer one.
Nice.
Yep.
So Danielle, if someone wants to get in contact with you to learn more about your services, what are the best ways to get in contact with you?
So you can follow me on Instagram at The Goddess of Style. And if you'd like to reach out to book me for a session, you can reach me at thegoddessofstyle.com.
Yes.
Excellent.
I may be getting in touch with you.
Yes, because that closet of mine, and I teach about decluttering
And
and
you
the
have
importance
a lot
of
of
it.
clothes too, Tracy.
I love.
shopping.
Fashionista.
I think I get it from my mom. I mean, she has clothing racks literally in the house. She shops in her house.
Wow.
I love it. I aspire. You know, I remember my goal when I was a kid. I always wanted the closet from Clueless. Y'all remember?
yes.
Girl,
When
me
Cher was like,
too.
I was like,
Oh
I
my
want
God.
that. I wanted
That's
it.
my favorite movie. Like
Y'all know I was
love-
Cher for Halloween, right?
You were. Oh my God, you were. You look
love
like
Cher.
She's my fave.
I love Cher too. Like that's my movie in her closet. Oh my gosh. When you were a kid, like you just thought about the little computer and you could just.
I mean, it's
It was
goals to this
It
day.
is still a
10 years from now, hey, anything's possible.
Anything is
Envision
possible.
it, see it,
Yes.
take it,
Yes, life coach.
and it can be yours.
Amen.
Well,
Next, we're gonna talk about sex trafficking.
Ooh.
wear those cowboy boots so that I can run away from R. Kelly.
Exactly. Exactly. You do need to learn the science of sex trafficking and to educate people on the science of sex trafficking. So I'm really excited to meet Dr. Mobley so that we can
Yes.
talk about this.
All right.
We'll be right back.
National Center for Missing and Exploited Children estimate that 1 in 7 endangered runaways reported to them that they were likely sex trafficking victims. Globally, the International Labor Organization estimates that there are 4.8 million people trapped in forced sexual exploitation globally. Today, we have Dr. Connie Mobley, who will be here to walk us through what sex trafficking is, how it relates to the life of every woman, and how to detect it, what you can do to help, and the resources that are available. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Mobley.
Welcome. Thank you, ladies, for having me. I'm the founder of the National Association of Ambassadors, and this is one of our key issues that we deal with. So you all can feel free to connect with me on social media at the National Association of Ambassadors. Human trafficking and sex trafficking, it's really about supply and demand. This is a billion-dollar industry. According to the FBI, $150 billion are flooded inside and outside the United States with sex trafficking. According to the FBI, 98 seconds, every 98 seconds, a victim is actually assaulted. Wow. The numbers are quite high.
The statistics are alarming. Dr. Mobley, can you explain to us what exactly sex trafficking is?
Sex trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery in the form that a victim is forced, coerced, or some type of promise is made to the victim in the form of fraud. It's often difficult to know that you're actually being sex trafficked, which means so many victims fall prey to this hideous crime that is relentless in the United States and outside the United States. So this is an ongoing global, political, worldwide issue that has to be addressed. There are laws in place to protect victims who find themselves prey. In 2000, the Trafficking Victims Protection Act has been instituted. A lot of people don't know that there are laws in place. It was later renamed the Justice for Victims of the Sex Trafficking Act in 2015. This is an issue that somehow can become very up close and personal. As you go into the different stores and you see the missing alarms of both males and females, it is not gender specific. Who is prone? When we talk about sex trafficking, there are different forms of sex trafficking. When the predators present themselves, they're often presenting themselves as employers in this country or in other countries who are looking to solicit and hire individuals. And so it makes it very difficult because sex trafficking is often camouflaged. It's camouflaged in a way to where it cannot readily be identified, which is why we need to be able to look for certain signs.
So what are some of those signs that we can look for just as the average person when we're out shopping with our families in public? What does it look like? What does somebody being trafficked look like?
Great. Knowing what sex trafficking looks like puts us in a better place to understand prevention methods as well. Sex trafficking, meaning they will solicit you for employment. They will make promises. One of the things that people need to know are sex trafficking predators, it's about control and it's about power. The sex trafficker will begin to take control of the situation and even control the victim even before they're taken into their custody. They will often mark their victims to claim them and so that they can identify with them through tattooing, name branding. That's a really, really big one. They develop close ties and close relationships with their victims early on by making promises and following through on those promises, which means our victims then began to trust the predators who are perpetrating this industry. I mean, it's a billion-dollar industry. So for it to be a billion-dollar industry, they're making great strides at being able to capture innocent lives of both men and women, and particularly children.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. What is the difference between sex trafficking and prostitution?
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking. Sex trafficking is there's three things that go along with sex trafficking. That means that the victim had to be forced, coerced, or there's some form of fraud. When prostitution is underway, the victims typically go into prostitution and they accept it as a lifestyle and an occupation. So there's a difference. But let me tell you, When our victims, and I call them victims because once a man or a woman or children are forced into prostitution, it becomes a form of sex trafficking because when they often want to get out, they cannot get out. They're not allowed to get out. Often they're drugged, they're placed on heavy doses of drugs. A lot of people wonder, why don't they run away? They often don't have money. And I want to share with you one of the most alarming things. When sex trafficking, when they are offered positions or jobs or employment, sometimes it's in other countries, which means they give the victim the opportunity to get visas, to travel. Once they get to the country that they want them in and they're going to hold them hostage, they take their visa. When they're in these countries, they don't know they don't know the language, they don't know anyone, so their visas are taken, they can't speak, they can't advocate for themselves, and they're usually taken to an undisclosed location. We have many organizations out there to support, but one of the things we need to get abreast of, who's vulnerable? Who becomes vulnerable? People who are in the system. When I say people, people of all ages. You can be under 18 or over the age of 18. There is an organization that specifically addresses children under the age of 18. It's called commercial sexual exploitation when the child is under the age of 18. No one should be taken hostage to sex trafficking, but they look for vulnerabilities in their victims. They look for victims that are loners, who have low self-esteem, who don't have a family support system. Often those who are runaways, multiple runaways, have become many victims, as well as those a part of the LGBT community, because sometimes they're often disowned by their families. Those who are involved in sexual activity, pretty much early on and even later in life, explicit sexual activity, those are some of the people that can be taken victims because they see the need that you have and they work very hard to meet the need. But one of the things I want to urge people, never travel alone, particularly overseas. This is a money-making industry because there is a high supply and demand for sex slaves. It's really a very literal term. You're held against your own will and you have no way to break free. Often you're being watched, and they have people who are escorts that are also there to watch you, as well as some form of security. So you're actually being held against your will. Thank you for that question.
I just wanted to put a little caveat, an asterisk. We see this even in local courts. You're talking about the international aspect of it, but trafficking can be across state lines as well. So we live in the DMV, so you're taking somebody from DC to Maryland to Virginia, you're driving around the Beltway, that's considered trafficking as well. And even as a local issue, it's something I think that is extremely relevant to us. Can you speak a little bit about maybe locally, any initiatives or what's going on there?
And I can remember a time I was in the garage right here in Virginia, and there was a van that pulled up, a man and woman, and they, smiled, and I felt, everything in me felt like they were going to grab me and put me into their van and take me somewhere, and have me participate in some type of sex trafficking.
I feel like that all the time.
It's happening here.
I
So.
think that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that, because we're being watched all the time and we don't know that. So it's $1 million question. Who are sex traffickers? Who are these people? These people can be your next door neighbor. These folks can be family members. Often you will find families who unfortunately are facing financial challenges and financial difficulties will often look to sex trafficking because of the amount of money that you're getting for the victim. And I want to urge people more now than ever to speak out against this, because now this has become a global crime, and it is affecting the life of our youth as well as those of all ages. I cannot stress enough that it is not gender specific. Men as well as women as well as children are sex trafficked every day. Some of the methods and strategies that can be used for prevention, I want to bring that to the forefront. I want to name a couple organizations, just to name a few, because let me tell you, if you think that someone that you know could be a part of this ordeal, meaning they could be the victim or the perpetrator, it is better to speak out. There are many anonymous numbers you can can call. And also, there are numbers you can call if you get the hint that you are possibly going to be sex trafficking.
Wow.
Sometimes you can catch up on the signs very early. One of the things I want to speak into this camera and speak to young people. You don't think that your parents know what they're talking about. You don't think that they've been where you are. I want to say this. It's really about protecting you, protecting your identity, and protecting you from, this is one of the #1 crimes in America now, sex trafficking, where you're actually abducted against your will and you're held against your will. So to name a few, childrenofthenight.org is an organization that works with sex trafficking to help rescue. So if you want to go to that website, childrenofthenight.org. Another one is called love146.org. Love146. A major one that's international is Operation Underground Global. Operation Underground Global. This is an organization that is universal. And you know, what happens when a person is actually rescued after, you know, the trauma of going through some form of sexual ongoing abuse like this? Often PTSD is associated with it. They'll have issues, psychological issues, being incorporated back into society. And there are many organizations to help with that as well. One in particular called Freedom 9 Project. What I love about this organization is that they provide what you would call therapy dogs to help the victims to get through the day. Sometimes when you've gone through something that's traumatic, you don't want to interface with people. So what they do is they provide therapy dogs to help their victims get through this. I just want to tell people, be your brother and your sister's keeper. If there was ever a time to let people know where you're going, I want to stress one of the #1 things that we look at is online dating. A lot of predators have gone to the internet, social media sites. I'm so an advocate for social media because we can push great information out there. But what I want to caution, particularly our children and those under 18, do not meet up with people online and through social media sites, because this has become an avenue and a method and a strategy that predators have used over time, and they're continuing to use that method to capture, I want to say, the innocent. They're very innocent. Our children are very innocent, and they're not oblivious, and they don't understand that this is a method that our predators use to capture them and take them into sex trafficking. And so that is something to be able to look for.
Thank you so much, Connie, for joining us.
That was amazing information.
It's
a lot of
information overload. You have no idea how wide and vast this problem is. I think you said it earlier, but if you could just tell our viewers today how to get in touch with you, how they can keep up with you and maybe partner with you if they're really passionate about this cause.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to be doing, the National Association of Ambassadors, we will be doing a training session in 2009. You'll be able to look at that on our social media site. The way that you can keep track of me to be able to tap into the information that we have and ask further questions or follow-up is to go to Facebook and put in the National Association of Ambassadors. The National Association of Ambassadors. We will be hosting before the end of the year sex trafficking workshop seminar. It will be for all ages, all ethnic groups, and anyone will be open. It'll be open to the general public. But I want to urge people, there's a national hotline for this crime. It's 888-373-7888. It's called the National Human Traffic Hotline. You can give that number out. You can dial that number. You can call that number. Once again, that number is 1-888-373-7888. It's called the National Human Traffic Hotline. If you suspect or think that someone is potentially a predator, and I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the statistics here, and if you look at what the FBI has uncovered, there is no one who is exempt from falling into this category. We've had professional people who have been predators and fallen prey to this in terms of being a part of this hideous crime. So if you think that someone could potentially be involved in this, whether they're the perpetrator or the victim, please do not hesitate to reach out to the National Human Traffic Hotline at any given time. It's a 24-hour hotline. I hope that this show has been very helpful and very informative. Once more, connect with us on social media. I'm Dr. Mobley, the founder of the National Association of Ambassadors. And what we do is we link ourselves and we've connected to all embassies globally to try to combat and advocate and deal with this crime here. Once again, it's a $150 billion industry. It's about supply and demand.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Dr. Mobley.
Thank you.
For more information about sex trafficking, how to prevent it, what it looks like, and resources that are available, please visit our website. You'll learn so much more about what Dr. Mobley and her organization is offering about such a heavy, heavy topic. Thank you so much, Dr. Mobley.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies.
Wow, our show has come to an end. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for watching. A special thank you to our fabulous guests. Danielle, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
me.
Dr. Mobley, thank you for all of the great information. And you know what? A special thank you to you for joining us, for watching us. A special thank you to our production team. Listen, we want you to keep in touch. Catch us on Facebook at Table Talk TV Show or on Instagram. Be sure to leave us a note, comments, questions. We'll be sure to read them next week. God bless you. And remember, what do we got to tell them, ladies?
Live your best life. Mwah.